Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Tuesday the 18th of March. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. The Waikato Regional Council is investigating a significant unauthorised discharge of lime from the Golden Cross Joint Venture Gold Mines wastewater treatment plant into the Waitakauri stream at Waikino. The mine said the discharge happened after the Golden Cross Road plant was vandalised early last week. The leaked lime is having an effect on aquatic life up to 3 kilometres downstream. What started as a passion for all things science has launched a whole house dedicated to inspiring children about the world of science. The House of Science was established 3 months ago by former secondary school science teacher Chris Duggan to enrich science education across the community. Her aim is to get more students excited about science in the early years so they'll be inspired to carry on with their studies through secondary and into tertiary education.
Well, the House of Science has been set up 6 months ago. It's a collaborative centre for science education, but more than just education, it's about connecting and resourcing the whole of the science community here in the Bay of Plenty.
The University of Waikato's Management School will host a Global Leadership Forum on Monday, May the 12th at Claudelands Events Centre. It will provide participants with key insights designed to provoke, challenge, inform and inspire them with new perspectives for developing their leadership capability. There will also be ample opportunities to mix informally with keynote speakers who include Unilever Europe President Jan Zedeveld, Executive Director of Hawkins Construction Jim Bolt, and founding partner of Chen Palmer Public and Employment Law Specialists May Chen. For more information about the 2014 Global Leadership Forum, visit executive.ac.nz. Staying at the University of Waikato, and Fletcher Construction has won the contract to build the new Law and Management building. Work on the $20 million plus building will begin mid-April, and construction is scheduled to take 16 to 18 months. The new Law and Management building will house Te Paringa, Faculty of Law and Waikato Management School Centre for Corporate and Executive Education, as well as student services. Fletcher Construction also built the university's award-winning Student Centre. The Waikato District Health Board has begun a global search for a new chief executive. Board Chair Bob Simcock said Waikato needed an outstanding leader to replace Craig Clemo, who leaves mid-year. Sheffield will also assist the board in searching for the executive recruitment process. Taking a look at the marine forecast now. The West Coast expect a variable of 10 knots with high tide at Raglan tonight at 25 minutes past midnight. Heading over to the East Coast now. And you can expect a westerly of 10 knots dying out this afternoon. Fine with high tide in Tauranga at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Just ahead on Central News, we find out more about the fundraising efforts for the Te Aroha Event Centre. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. It's been in the pipeline for around 25 years, but it's really only been the last 4 years that a group of like-minded people have got the ball rolling to fundraise for and build a Te Aroha Event Centre. Paul Williams, spokesperson for Te Aroha Event Centre Charitable Trust, spoke with me recently regarding the latest fundraising project. Paul, welcome to Central News. You're the spokesperson for the Te Aroha Event Centre Charitable Trust.
Okay.
Exciting times. We're nearly at the target of $4.5 million raised to build this event centre. Why does Te Aroha need one?
Well, Te Aroha never really has a community centre before. Just after the war, everybody built community halls. Te Aroha built a town clock, which is great, but we've never had a community hall. So there's been a need, and there hasn't really been a sporting centre either in Te Aroha. The college gym is small and booked out a lot, so there's long been a need for it in Te Aroha.
Would it be fair to say that plans have been in the pipeline for about 25 years?
Yes, I have seen plans from the early 80s. And they've always been there, but getting money and the right people pushing the right direction has been hard work. So when it came up, we jumped on board and it's all been good.
So clearly the right people are on board now. You've been fundraising since 2010. Yeah. Tell me what you've done in that time.
Wow.
Or what you have done.
There's been a lot of fundraising, going to council, dealing with council, trying to get them on board in the early stages, and then going to funders. We've been doing a lot of community things, beard growing contests, sports nights, poker runs with motorcycles, we're building a house, demolishing things, anything we can do to raise money, we've done it. The Lions have been on board, it's been great.
Tell me about your $500,000 club.
The $500,000 Club, well, initially getting money to get started to make us credible has been the hardest thing, right at the start, to go to council. So we needed a lot of money, pledged anyway. So we were having a few beers at camping one day with one of the trust members, and we decided we'll go to people and ask for $10,000 over 3 years and try and get 50, which hence the $500,000. We've got 27 members paid up now.
That's fantastic.
And they get a third back because we're a charitable trust, so they get a tax rebate. So it's 6 over 3 years, which wasn't the end of the world. So, and people have come on board really well, and we're all paid up now pretty much. Did
you literally go knock on doors and say, could I have $10,000 please?
Pretty much. And they say, what are you going to build? We say, we don't really know. And they say, where are we going to build it? Well, on Boyd Park somewhere. People know it's needed, and especially the older generation. They've said, look, we want to leave something. So it's been really great, because it is only a dream. We're getting close, but it's still only a concept.
Let's talk about what you hope to build. You haven't got plans as such. You're getting the money first, very sensible. So it's hopefully going to have a couple of indoor courts and a function room. Anything else?
Well, that's the main thing. I mean, we want it to be a community centre, and the detractors, and there are always people who are against these sort of things, don't really understand, I think, the concept that it's a community centre. It's not just a 2-court sports centre. It's going to be for the town. We want a conference room big enough for funerals, weddings, but also a 2-court centre, which hopefully will future-proof it for the next 2 or 3 generations. That's the plan.
Paul, thank you very much.
Not a problem.
New Zealand Book Month has moved from March to August this year. However, a group has formed and taken over March as the month to celebrate local indie authors and small presses. Hilary joined some local authors at the Tauranga City Library to find out why March is a celebration of independence.
It's a good title, isn't it? It's a celebration of indie authors. It used to be New Zealand Book Month, but late last year they changed it at very short notice to August. I'm in a LinkedIn group called the Digital Publishing Forum, and we decided to seize it for ourselves, carpe diem, and all over the country there are random and spontaneous acts of celebration going on.
Carl, can you tell me a little bit about the book that you've published?
Well, my book is about my life, really, and more profoundly how miraculously I was able to give my prostate cancer a kick in the ass, if you don't mind. That's the thing that would probably come first to mind to people that were interested. But beyond that, I've been on a spiritual journey for many, many years, and my spiritual discipline around meditation has been really important in providing the foundation or the groundwork for the healing event that I actually experienced. And the book is about the different strategies I use, the epiphany that I went through that led me to the realization of what it was that healed my cancer. And this is far outside the medical annals, really. I feel that the whole medical profession is about cure rather than looking at why we get disease. And I think when we actually start looking at the reasons we get disease from the emotional point of view, the whole medical model will be turned upside on its head.
What were you doing before? I mean, is this your first book?
Well, I am an inventor. I'm an author only by circumstance, not by intent. I've had these experiences and I'm compelled to share them because I think that there's a lot of suffering out there that is unnecessary. And a lot of it comes at the hand of the medical practitioners.
How did you find the experience of writing a book?
Well, this is not my first book. This is my 4th book. But it's the first one that's solely focused on healing and a spiritual journey that I've been on. The other books touched on this, but they were some very pragmatic subjects. One is earth changes, the possibility that in the past there it's gone through horrendous changes, and there's scientific evidence to support that, and talking about the diabolical results of taxation and a better system. You know, that's a whole nother story.
How did you find that independent publishing process?
Well, the first books I self-published. I spent a lot of money, and it was very, very difficult to get the books out there and get them accepted in any sort of a retail situation. But with the internet now and with digital publishing, what I've done, this one, I've printed a couple hundred books with this one, Church of the Perfect God, locally, but Jenny and I are working at getting this book up on a digital format on Amazon and the different internet marketing media that creates a whole new opportunity for local authors.
Still to come on Central News, we say farewell to a Morrinsville landmark and find out about the Facebook campaign to remove the RENA. That's next on Central News. Welcome back to Central News. As the resource consent is decided, the debate has been heating up over whether or not the wreck of the RENA should be completely removed and who should pay for it. A community Facebook campaign, Restore Our Reef, Remove the RENA, is gaining momentum. Hilary spoke with Pat Spellman to find out more.
Restore Our Reef, Remove the RENA. How did that all come about?
The page itself was a result of a conversation that I saw sort of happening on a Facebook forum, and people were sort of just discussing. It was in the paper that day, and they were discussing, the logistics behind removing it versus leaving it there. It could be a diving resort, and I thought there were a lot of people that were really passionate about having this removed. A lot of Māori people, a lot of people that listen to my show, a lot of just the general public of Tauranga that were really keen to sort of see this thing go. Didn't have any sort of lobbying power, didn't really have a position of influence, and so I sort of just recommended to them, look, these days the easiest way to get your way is to come together and create a social media platform. And so I offered to help them, and we created this page, and it's been up for nearly a month now, and it's grown from sort of 0 to, I think it was at 15 to 1600 people in that sort of space. And these are all people that are really passionate about the removal of this RENA from the reef, and I've been more than happy to sort of act as their spokesperson and facilitate sort of that movement into the media now, sort of while I'm talking to you.
What have been some of the most common comments?
So for the most part, the people that are a part of this sort of movement are your regular people, your mums and dads, your concerned sort of ratepayers, and they're just sort of curious as to if it is to stay, what are the implications to the environment? If it is to go, how can we make that happen? Why should it stay? Why should it go? These real basic questions, and for the most part, there should be answers to that. And I think, unfortunately, for the regular sort of member of the public, unless you're sort of privy to these behind-the-scenes sort of meetings and the Environment Court hearings and the council meetings, unless you're sort of in there, you don't really get a transparent answer. So what we're trying to do is create a way to, I suppose, peer pressure the powers that be into letting Joe Public know what is exactly happening.
What is exactly happening there?
Well, we would like the removal of the RENA and the restoration of that reef. I think it's too dangerous to leave it there, and so do 1,600 other people. We've sort of looked into just the black and white of the situation, and that's the advice that we're getting from the different authorities that do talk to us, people like Buddy Makaurau, who is in charge of the iwi negotiations on their part, also Charlie Tawhia, who's part of the iwi collective that are pushing for that. Talk to the mayor and his views from the Tauranga City Council, and he's quite sort of passionate about having that gone. And so for the most part, these people that are telling us it should go and giving us real sort of basic reasons as to why, that's what we should think happen. If it's too dangerous, for the salvors to get in there and remove it, it's definitely too dangerous for people to use it as a diving recreational sort of facility. That's my sort of point of view anyway.
For 49 years, St Joseph's Church in Morrinsville has been leaking and proving to be a financial strain on the parish. After much consultation and planning, the church that is somewhat of a Morrinsville landmark will be demolished and a brand new one will take its place. I spoke with parish priest Father Mark O'Keefe and building committee member Marie Heathcote to find out more. Father Mark O'Keefe, Marie Heathcote, welcome to Central News. A landmark and in some ways an icon of Morrinsville is being demolished. It is, of course, St Joseph's Catholic Church. Father, tell me, why are we saying goodbye to the much beloved upside-down bathtub, as it's sometimes known?
Yeah, it's got a lot of names, in fact, hasn't it? It is something which has been very much a landmark in Morrinsville for 50 years. And I think that one of the issues that we have is basically a lot of heating and leaking and sort of maintenance problems have besieged the building for a very, very long time. So a decision has been made that we now need to sort of look at rehousing the people of God in a place which is going to keep them warm and dry.
And that makes it a lot more pleasant, actually, for the whole congregation, doesn't it? Marie, how long has the consultation process been going on?
Well, the consultation process has been going on for quite some time. We've had many meetings with the parishioners, and their input has been invaluable. And as a result of those meetings, we have decided that a new church was, the best way to accommodate our problems, so to speak.
So a new church is going to be built. Are the plans being finalised, or do we know what it's going to look like?
Not just at the present time. We've got rough plans that are coming forward, and we've got people work on that, basically to meet the needs of the community as we stand here and now in 2014. I think what to remember is that 50 years ago the church was a bigger place. More people were going to church, and so we're a more diminished community. But we also have to look at the age demographic as well of the people that are there. So churches which were built a long time ago don't necessarily have the things which we'd like to have, to keep people comfortable these days.
Absolutely. There are so many memories surrounding that church. As an old girl, I have fantastic memories of the guitar playing in the front pew with Mrs. Jones and the echoing, and it was cold, and we tried to lower the ceiling with panels and all sorts of initiatives in that way. There must be some sadness around saying goodbye to the old church, as well as looking forward to the new one.
We had a beautiful decommissioning ceremony on New Year's Eve, which was rather symbolic of saying goodbye and greeting the new year. And I think that one of the things which was very pertinent was that a lot of people have had very important occasions in their lives in that sacred place. They've had, baptisms, they've had weddings, they've had funerals, and all of the things have been central to what they've been about. So, of course, there's a sadness because it carries a memory, but there's also a sense of joy because we're going on to something which actually will serve our community in a better way. So there's a great sense of people are very delighted about that.
We look forward to seeing the new church, and hopefully it will become a new landmark for Morrinsville. Father Mark and Marie, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
After the break, we catch up with a mad vet that's rescuing pets and animals from around the country. That's next on Central News. Welcome back to Central News. The dedicated work of a Tauranga Veterinary Clinic and Wildlife Trust will go national this month with the premiere of its own television series. Mad Vets 24/7 follows Dr. Liza and her team through the laughs and some of the sad times of running the two places. Hilary spoke with Liza to find out how the premiere went.
Oh, it was wonderful. We had a whole lot of the people who support the work that ARC Wildlife Trust and Holistic Vets does, so a lot of our clients, our team, businesses that help us, and we all went to the Rialto Theatre where we had footage of all 5 episodes of the series summarised.
Can you describe the series?
Well, the TV crew followed us around for a few weeks, and it just showed what we do on a day-to-day basis. So we've got all sorts of fabulous things like what's in the mystery box, because over the springtime, ARC Wildlife Trust sees a fortune of birds that come through the door, and people bring these birds in, whether they're orphaned or injured, whether it's a moorpork or a hawk or a penguin or a kereroo or a tui, and they have all sorts of creative boxes that come in. So what's in the mystery box features each week, and then we go through some exciting facts of what it's all about, like talk about a heron or a seagull and all the exciting things about them. Then we've got all the cats that we take care of as part of our Wildlife Trust, Ark Wildlife Trust Spay the Stray Cat campaign, and how we look after them and how they are in foster care. And we've got this fabulous foster care doggy, Buffy, who takes them under her wings, and it shows her. And then also the work of holistic vets, where we integrate all sorts of complementary therapies like acupuncture and hyperbaric oxygen therapy, as well as other weird things like NIS therapy. And it shows wonderful characters like Pisa the cat, who comes in with her hind legs paralyzed, and how we treat her with those therapies in conjunction with conventional medicine, just to help these animals to improve their quality of life and give their owners peace of mind that we're doing everything that they can, and usually bring them back from difficult health conditions where they're not getting enough response from just conventional treatments alone.
How did it all start? I mean, how did the series come together?
Well, an undertone of the work that we do, because we work in such a unique way, is educating our clients and educating the public about responsible pet ownership, animal welfare, conservation and environmental sustainability. So a really perfect way to educate people is to get it as a TV series. And it's really important to us to share all this information, because that's the undertone of what's going to create the change. It's all well and good doing the fabulous work that we do, which is really exciting, but we want to get to the root of the problem so that we can stop or help to stop animal abuse, help to minimize litter that's going out there that affects our wildlife detrimentally, help to stop the poor seabirds who get fish hooks stuck in their beaks and come into us with injuries, frequently shags. It's always time for a shag.
It is about your two businesses. It sounds quite hectic.
It is pretty hectic. We work hard, and that's why it's Mad Vets 24/7. On call 24/7, no rest for the wicked. And even when it's time for a little bit of a walk along the beachfront, there's usually some kind of bird or injured wildlife or animal requiring help.
So you never get a rest?
Nah, no rest for the wicked. But we love what we do.
Mad Vets 24/7 screens on Monday nights, 8:30, right here on TV Central. Taking a look at the weather for the Waikato now. Hamilton, a cloudy morning with the chance of drizzle expected, mainly fine weather though, and light winds with a high of 27 degrees. Pāroa, expect a fine Wednesday with the odd shower and a high of 25. Matamata, same forecast for you with 23 degrees, your high, 13 overnight. And Te Awamutu, the same with 26 degrees expected and 12 overnight. Tokoroa, mainly fine, chance of a shower later on though with 24 and 12 overnight. Heading to the Bay of Plenty now with Tauranga expecting a fine day, light winds and a high of 25 degrees. Te Puke, mainly fine, the odd shower expected and a high of 23 degrees. That's Central News for today. Make sure you like us on our Facebook page, centralnews.tv, and let us know if there's news or an event happening in your community. Thanks for joining me. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. Ka kite anō.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.